two children, two little boys, 11-year-old Emiliano and 9-year-old Joaquin. And my husband, who's Peruvian, I'm Mexican, we moved here to Northfield. I got a job at Carlton. And so we've been here since 2013, so coming up on about 10 years. I am here because I entered the City of Northfield City Banner competition for the Hispanic Heritage Month. And I entered the competition with my two little boys, and we won. Well, first of all, we're Hispanic, so we're like a Mexican and Peruvian family. We travel back and forth to our home countries, and my youngest boy, Joaquin, he goes to Prairie Creek, and one of his personal projects was based on comparing corn agriculture here in Northfield versus corn agriculture in Oaxacan, Mexico, which is kind of cool because it's the origin of where corn actually developed. So he did this lovely poster and he painted these corns. So we decided to do all different variations of corn and corns that we like. So we decided to do it on Corn Connections, that's what we called it. It's also important for them to see reflected their identity. I sat them down and we talked about why it was important to participate in this banner, you know, and like even if we didn't win, it helped us sort of carve out a moment to sort of articulate who we are and who we are in this township, right? Even thinking about like the colors, right? Like some people think the colors we choose are too much. And so it's something that I didn't realize that I had to be a lot more explicit, especially for my two boys, because unfortunately there's not a lot of positive representations of, you know, being either Somali or Hmong or Mexican or Guatemalan, whatever it is. There's this one culture that permeates it. So I feel like I have to go 200% to maybe them get a 20%. I don't know. I mean, want it or not, this is a town that's, you know, very sort of homogeneous. And so we're the only family of color in our entire neighborhood. So for them to kind of express themselves and be sort of, you know, seen in such a public thing, they're really excited, and it means a lot for their sort of grounding in who they actually are. Every place I can, we try to showcase to the boys and to our community that, you know, that we're good neighbors, but we're slightly different. So we do it in all different ways, from like, you know, we're the only house with like a bright orange door, you know, or, you know, we're a little bit on the louder side. I was trying to find something that, you know, like the boys said, that even though we even started our statement of being from far away, that there's these unexpected connections that kind of occur between people. And we were thinking that, you know, we're Central Mexican, and that's where corn was, you know, sort of domesticated. And then somehow that corn traveled down to Peru, and very fast, you know, so then they have this whole other sort of connection with Peru. And then those corns traveled back up here, and that's how the Lakota, you know, got their corns. And then that corn was taken by the European settlers, and we developed all these other corns. One way or the other, all the different corns we sort of eat reflect that. You know, they reflect these sort of entangled histories and unexpected connections. And so we were talking about like, well, what are their favorite corns? So they come up with like the purple corn is a Oaxacan corn. They really like these doughs made out of these very purple corns. They love heritage Native American popcorn that we've, you know, been gifted when we go up to like White Earth for these Indigenous farming conferences. And then of course like sweet corn, like Midwestern sweet corn is to die for. So, you know, so we kind of, you know, chose the different corns, and we wanted to showcase also that, you know, corn is not just something that's, you know, homogeneous throughout Latin America, but we're a family that comes from two very different settings. And so we put in the banner like the different names for corn, and either Peruvian, you know, sort of version of Spanish, or Mexican Spanish. We also put the Lakota name for corn, and we put like a big tortilla, which is also kind of a sunset, even though, you know, Peruvians don't eat tortilla, you know, so it was kind of like a way to talk about how corn really sort of showcases people's movements.